This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Holiday gatherings are happening. Stack on the sparkle this season with unforgettable jewelry from Blue Nile. Right now, save up to 50% with Blue Nile's Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals. Blue Nile offers an endless selection of bold gold styles, gemstone jewelry, and classic diamond pieces. So you can take your holiday party look to new levels of glam. Or gift yourself elegance for every day of the year. Shop now for up to 50% off jewelry at BlueNile.com. That's BlueNile.com.
Welcome to Heaving Bosoms, the podcast where two best friends recap romance novels while dreaming about roasted turkey and lumberjack architects.
Stack our shelves with the clinches out. Shout it from the rooftop, can you hear the sound? Yeah. Live your best life, love it out loud. Love it out loud.
Hey, beautiful listener. It's the week of Thanksgiving for all of us American HBs, so we thought we would celebrate with a holiday book. And on Friday, the bonus feeds are going to feature a recap of Full Sack by Layla Faye. Y'all, we thought we were getting a straightforward paranormal Thanksgiving book, and we got so much more. I don't know that I've ever been more surprised by a book's premise, and it didn't help that Sabrina and I were both high on delirium and friendship before the recap even started. So that's this Friday on the Patreon and Apple subscription bonus feeds. Today, we're celebrating American Thanksgiving with a recap of Boyfriend by Sarina Bowen. Happy Thanksgiving, American HBs. Sabrina.
Hi, Mel.
Are you ready for Thanksgiving?
Define ready.
Well, that's a great question, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. As you know, Melody, I'm a paragon of self-control and moderation.
Oh, no, both of us, self-regulators over here. Mm-hmm. We're so good at it.
I was chatting with Kim the other day.
Yeah?
Because she was talking about how she was making some deviled eggs. And I love a deviled egg.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
But I hate boiling an egg. I hate
That's so specific.
I fucking hate boiling an egg. And it's because I don't like timed things, right? So if I have to remember to do something and it needs to be done when that timer goes off.
Yeah, eggs are rough because they get sulfury, right? If you do them too long,
well, it's
the skin sticks.
It's all of the above. They're just whatever. They're a bitch. Okay,
sure.
Eggs are bitches.
That's what I've heard.
The only reason that they're not bitches is that you can just leave them in the fridge forever.
Yeah,
because people are like, oh yeah, you shouldn't use an egg after a month in the fridge. Fuck you. You probably shouldn't, but I do, because guess what? I forget they exist until I don't, and then I eat 15 of them. So,
and then you eat eggs. You eat all the eggs. Yeah.
Well, I may have asked Kim. I was like, what do you do? I hate boiling eggs. And then I learned about a boiled egg maker. It's a kitchen tool.
You got yourself a specific boiled egg maker?
Well, so this is where I fucked up.
I mean, I love that.
this is where I fucked up, Mel. Like, pretty severely. So I was Googling. You know, I did a little search 'em up.
Uh-huh.
And I came across an egg maker that not only does it boil eggs, it also, like, it's got a little thing, and you can, like, put an egg in there, so it's like a little omelet. You can poach eggs in it, which I'm actually a beast at poaching an egg in normal water. Hate boiling an egg, but I can poach like a motherfucker. Well, the one that I bought, because it has all of these extra functions, is a little larger.
Oh, God.
And so instead of being able to boil 6 or 7 eggs at a time, you can poach or you can boil / steam 14.
Oh, my God.
At a time. The day I bought this boiled egg maker, I did make 7 of them, and I was like, wow.
That's great.
I'm gonna be able, like, that's a snack for the next couple of days. How brilliant of me.
Mm-hmm.
I've already eaten dinner. So, like, I'll have, like, 1 or 2, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then I have snacks for the next couple of days. I did eat all 7 boiled eggs that night.
Sounds great.
I'd already
Honestly.
eaten dinner. I wasn't hungry.
That sounds great.
I literally had to go lay down.
Your body was craving protein. Just tell yourself that.
I had 2 salmon fillets for dinner. I did not. My body was not craving protein, Melody.
I'm trying to help a bitch out. Jesus.
There's no help. This is what I'm saying. It's like I'm helpless, okay? And like, boy, I'm just such a ding-a-ling. What I should have done is I should have got the smaller one, because, like, I don't know who in the universe was like, you know what Sabrina needs to be able to do? Sabrina needs to be able to make 14 boiled eggs at a time. I have gone. Melody, would you like to guess? I bought this thing. It came in the last 2 weeks. Actually, it came exactly 2 weeks ago. Would you like to know how many eggs I've gone through since then?
Yeah, I would. Tell me everything.
Would you like to guess?
I always guess like either so low or so high.
Oh, it's my favorite thing. Give me a guess.
36.
I just bought a replacement 18 pack to replace the second one. I've had a lot of egg in my diet the last 2 weeks.
I love it. Well, although, you know, if you just skip the yolk, like, it's no cholesterol or anything. So if you wanted to eat eggs all the time, you could just eat the whites.
Why are you so hateful?
And compost the yolk.
What?
Apparently I'm a hater. I don't know.
You are? In what world? I guess I could give the yolks to the dogs. They would probably...
They fucking love them.
That. Oh, I know they do.
I still, when we have Tyadan at Thanksgiving, I will accidentally put the yolk on the side thinking of our old dog Flop. But Flop did die 3 years ago. And every once in a while the kids will be like, I miss Flop. And so it's really a hairy situation to put the yolks on the side in my house right now. I love a boiled egg, though. I love a hard-boiled egg.
But I learned that day. I learned my lesson real hard. I was literally in, like, pain, agony. Agony? I was in agony.
Oh, no!
I was in agony because I had already eaten a full meal, and then I ate 7 eggs on none.
I love it. I mean, and that's what the Thanksgiving season is about.
It really is.
You know what I mean? Well, nobody should be able to fit into their pants.
I was like, this would be so useful for the holidays, because you could just make 14 boiled eggs. If you're making deviled eggs for a big group of people, just have it on lock. Just keep going, because it automatically turns off. You don't have. That's why I fucking love it. You don't have to think about it. It just when the water is done evaporating, it just boop and turns off.
Wow.
And you need to remember to move them over to like a cold water bath. But I'll just tell you from experience, if you forget to do that,
experience. I hate us. I hate us right now.
From experience, it's not terrible. I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible if you just forget and take the lid off. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
When the boop goes, you just take the lid off and just live your best life.
Love it.
Eat way too many eggs. I did tell my friend, and they were like, "I'm not coming to your house until you're over this." And I was like, why? And they were like, with how many eggs you're eating, Sabrina, the sulfur content in the air is probably heinous. And I was like, I wouldn't know.
How dare you?
I can't smell it.
I'm stewing in my own juices right now. So.
That's exactly it. But like, how smart? If you need to make 50, I'm sorry, not 50, 28, 56. If you need to make 56 deviled eggs, you can do that in 4 rounds of this egg maker.
Oh my God. That's bananas.
Anyway, yeah, so if you need 112 deviled eggs for the holidays, get yourself a fucking egg maker.
And then you can put all the yolk stuff in like a piper, in like a cake piper, and pipe it out, and it'll be all pretty too. Shit.
Christ, at that rate, you might need a single-use kitchen item that just pumps egg yolk froth for you.
Hate that. I hate that set of words put together in that order.
Egg yolk
hate
froth?
that. I don't like that at all. No. Okay, listen. We this Thanksgiving season, we are also incredibly thankful to all of the people who have joined Patreon recently. And so we're going to shout those people out really quick, and then we're going to get into our Thanksgiving book.
Boy.
So,
Willie.
Hey, thank you. Welcome to Patreon, Emily E. and Danielle.
Christina and Letitia V.
Crystal C. and Wistful.
Crystal what?
Crystal W. and Wistful.
Lizzie and Tommy L.
Catherine B.Q. and Carolyn B. No, God, Charlotte. I can't read. What's happening to me?
Not enough eggs.
Am I having a stroke? Okay, Charlotte BQ and Carolyn Brown. Charlotte BQ and Carolyn B. Shut up!
Glory and Stephanie W. I'm so sorry, listener. I don't know how much of that melody's cutting out, but
all of it. I cut all of it. I cut all of it. Listener, I can't read. It's not even like a handle thing. It's not even like an I'm a Tumblr thing. It's not. I just literally couldn't read. I was seeing other words for different words. Yesterday, I looked at Valor when I was trying to come up with, God, I don't remember the word I was coming up with, but I said rainbow instead. And I looked at Valor and I said, am I having a stroke? And then I had to explain what a stroke was. Oh, it's the worst.
Oh, parenthood.
Okay, Sabrina, have I listened to this book 4 or 5 times?
Honestly, you should have if you didn't. Okay, listener. So we got a recommendation. And this is if you have holiday recs, like if you have Hanukkah.
It's always so hard.
If you have Christmas, if you have Thanksgiving, if you have, what other holidays do we do? Halloween. Those are super easy to find.
Please don't recommend Veterans Day. We have that online. No, actually do. We need more shenanigans and malarkey. If you have Veterans Day recs,
I was thinking about this literally last night because I started the next book in this series that I'm reading because I've gone down this author rabbit hole and I was like, oh my God, we should have done one of these books for Veterans Day. All of these dudes are veterans and you would talk about shenanigans and malarkey. Okay?
Really?
And hot sex.
Yeah.
It's this one. Yeah. I might give you a quickie on it because,
nice.
Wow.
I'm into it. Yeah, but HB Patricia emailed us with this recommendation. She's I think she's like an OG
Did you
HB.
Just Google that in our email?
I did it earlier because I thought it was Patricia, but I wasn't sure. So yeah, I did it earlier. And yeah, Patricia, thank you so much because this might turn into like a comfort read. It's so good and it's short.
It's like 240 pages or something like that.
Yeah, like exactly what I needed.
If you need a fun little holiday romp, listener, this would work for Christmas. It would work for New Year's. It would work for a wedding. It would work for...
It would not work for a wedding. There is literally not a single wedding in here. There is just talk of a wedding. I thought the epilogue was going to be a wedding, and it was the only disappointment I saw in this book.
I would 10,000% have marked this down as wedding for.
Absolutely not.
All of the talk on a prompt, I would make it fit.
Okay, sure.
If I was struggling to find a wedding book,
it would be dubious at best.
Have you met me?
Yeah,
embrace that shit.
Yeah, we're gonna embrace it.
So anyway, or a Thanksgiving book. So we open up this. We're reading "Boyfriend" by Sarina Bowen, and crawling back into Sarina Bowen's arms feels like a warm embrace. I forget how much I love Sarina Bowen until I read a Sarina Bowen for the first time again, and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, because like we've read a couple of Sarina Bowens over the last year, but I've already read them, right? Like these are like I'm revisiting. I enjoyed them, but this was a brand new Sarina Bowen to me, and I was like, Sarina, thank you so much for holding me, you know?
Yeah, I went down a Sarina Bowen rabbit hole, and even when she's writing about like extreme religious trauma, I still feel so held and embraced the whole time.
So we did Boyfriend, which is the first book in a multi-author series. It's Moo You Hockey Romance.
Do we know why it's Moo You? Do we know?
Because Anita Kelly went there?
It's... Probably. I think that's the reason. I have no idea why it's called Moo You. It's fine.
Because Anita Kelly went there. That's HB canon.
Yeah, she was the valedictorian of her class, summa cum laude, or whatever.
And apparently I was probably the mascot. No one knows.
Yes. Yeah.
So we have Abby, and she works at a wings place, Biscuit in the Basket.
Yeah.
And they don't even have a football team at this Vermont university.
Nope.
And everything is hockey. And it is the week of Thanksgiving. And they have a Thanksgiving special, which is cranberry almond wings, which frankly sounds heinous. And I understand why they can't sell them.
Absolutely.
We find out that she is doing her damnedest to finish school in 3 years instead of 4 years. She's in school for like finance, marketing, money stuff. We're geniuses there, so we don't need to re-explain all of that.
No, not at all.
And at this job, oh my God, I would have killed for this in college. If you make it a year at this job, you get a $1,500 bonus.
Holy ballsack.
And it doesn't even sound like a bad job. It's just a serving job.
Yeah, you're just a server. But I understand why they would do that because there is so much turnover. And with servers especially, the training threshold is so high.
As a manager at jobs in college, if I could have given a $1,500 bonus to keep people, I wish I could have given that bonus every year on every anniversary.
I know.
So they have a table 17, and all the pucky boys, all the hockey men's.
That is the hockey players' dedicated table. Everybody knows not to fuck with it. That's where hockey boys sit. All right.
And as we all know, hockey boys are hottie boys.
Sure.
Her favorite player of all, though.
Yes.
Weston Griggs. He's a defenseman sporting thick brown hair and a tidy cut. He has a winning smile and inquisitive blue eyes, but he's also got tattoos that poke out from the sleeves of his t-shirts. She has a big ol' crush on Weston Griggs.
And she should, because he is a feminist queen.
Swoony feminist queen.
Yeah.
Who is just a golden retriever ball of sunshine.
Yes. Absolutely.
Adorable. And she needs that in her life.
And he's a fellow Avett Brothers fan. So,
yep.
There we go.
So she trades her best friend Carly for that table.
Carly is like maybe the best friend ever.
She's got to be like, in one of the other books. There's no way she's not.
Right? I really wanted to see her with that freshman Cooper.
Ooh, I'll bet Cooper has a book. I think Tate has a book.
Tate is the next book.
Ooh. So I don't remember why I didn't read this, but I fucking love a multi-author series. I don't know if I've ever said that on pod before. I am
Maybe this is the 7th time. What do you think, listener?
Legs spread.
8th time she said it? Probably. I agree. What?
Wow. Okay.
I know you love, but they're dangerous.
Oh,
that's why we stay away from them. Well,
and that's why I did, because a couple of my favorites are Bold Brew and Vino and Veritas, because Vino and Veritas and in Vino Veritas are set in the Sarina Bowen verse.
Yeah. This is too.
I know.
Yeah.
So I read the first Vino Veritas multi-author series, and I did not crawl back out because I went and stalked all of the other author back catalogs.
That's the thing.
And I did not crawl out for like 6 months. And then I fell into the Bold Brew series, which is not in the Sarinaverse, but it's like kinky coffee shop multi-author series. And I was stuck there. You know how like millennials, they make jokes about millennials and like quicksand, how like we're all really worried about quicksand for no reason? Yes. It's because it's not literal quicksand. What you need to be worried about is figurative, metaphorical quicksand, depending on what your interest is. And unfortunately, my special interest is book. Yeah. And I go through a lot of book.
Book back catalog quicksand.
Boy.
Is what it is for you.
Somebody throw me a rope. I'm not going to grab it, but it'd be nice to have the option, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
So anyway,
she trades for her table. She doesn't want to, right? She's like trying to fight her off because she's like, I can't handle any more like cute hockey boy in my life right now. My life is serious and focused and it's work and school and that's it.
Yeah, she has 1 semester left.
Yeah, but she finds out that it's Weston's birthday.
That's not why she does it, but she does say, well, now I know when his birthday falls. This will come in handy when we're married.
Yeah.
Love her.
Yeah, but then in front of the table, she's like so cool and so awesome. And so she's like, all right, drink up, boys. Is there anything else that you want? And one of the idiot freshmen is like, well, it's Weston's birthday. Like, maybe you should give us a little striptease.
Rookie, Weston barks. Our server doesn't need a side of sexual harassment with her job description tonight. Don't be that kind of asshole. And only an idiot would be rude to the woman who serves your food at least 3 nights a week.
Yeah.
Weston, you sexy son of a bitch.
How dare you make me swoon that hard? And then he says, you're going to apologize to her right now. And so the guy does. And then he looks at her like he sideways glances at her and he's like, what do you think? What do you give him for that apology? I think I give him a B+ at best. And she's like, you know what? I'll take it. I've heard worse. And he's like,
B-. Do not give this child.
You're right.
A better grade than he deserved.
Yeah, B-. And then she says, I've heard worse. And he goes, and that is unfortunate. And then he looks at her while he's handing her the menus or something. And he goes, not tonight, though. Okay? That's not going to happen to you tonight, he says. Stop it, sir. So as she's doing her side work, can I just say that I am the monster who loved side work? Like closing side work, because it was always just like so meditative, like repetitive movements. She is wrapping silverware and she does it within earshot of table 17 because they're like, that's good service, right? Like then you know when they need something and like whatever. So she overhears this whole conversation of Weston being like, oh God, I gotta hang up my flyers for Thanksgiving.
These flyers state, rent a boyfriend for the holiday. For $25, I will be your Thanksgiving date. I will talk hockey with your dad. I will bring your mother flowers. I will be polite and wear a nicely ironed shirt. Note, I don't cook, so I won't be able to bring a dish. I'm from out of town and have no plans for the holiday, but I love Thanksgiving and would be happy to celebrate with you, especially if your mother is a good cook. Or your father. I'm not sexist.
Sir. And then the boys are like, what would you do if like a guy called?
Oh my God. He's like, fake love is fake love, bro.
Yeah. He's like, that'd be fine. Oh, I can't. And so she decides to pick up one of these numbers off the flyer on her way out to work.
Oh yeah, she does.
She is a much better person than I am, though.
I would have ripped that flyer off the wall.
Yes!
I would have ripped that flyer off of the wall.
That flyer's coming down. I'm so sorry, Weston. Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. It's a season of wonder all the way at Nordstrom. You'll find the best gifts for everyone you love, plus party-ready looks for every occasion. It's easy with free shipping and returns, in-store order pickup, and more. Shop today in stores and at Nordstrom.com.
A hilarious new stand-up special from comedy legend Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, is coming to Hulu November 22nd. This Thanksgiving, see Jim in a whole new light. as he gives you the inside scoop on everything from parenting teenagers to weight loss and gaslighting family members. For everyone in need of a happy hour, the new hilarious stand-up special, Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, is now streaming on Hulu.
Need turkey tips? Our Butterball Turkey Talk line is open. We'll help with what's on the table so you can focus on those around it. Call 1-800-BUTTERBALL or text 844-877-3456. Butterball. Today, we turkey.
Kroger Delivery makes it easy to do your holiday shopping in a jingle. There might be a lot on your to-do list, but thanks to Kroger Delivery, you can get everything you need delivered straight to your door at the same great prices you'd find in store. Our refrigerated trucks always ensure that your groceries arrive fresh. And right now, you can save $20 on your first order of $75 or more and get free delivery with a Boost membership. Restrictions apply. See site for details. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We also get a call between him and his brother because his brother really wants him to come home for Thanksgiving.
Ooh,
and he's like, oh, no, I'm sorry, I have a date.
Melody, the gasp I gusped when we found out why he has family drama.
Yeah, the gasp was gusped very hard.
So he doesn't like going home for the holidays.
Yeah, so he's like, sorry, bro, I'm not coming home for Thanksgiving. And his brother is like, okay, but you have to fucking come home for Christmas. God damn it. You're not leaving me in the lurch on Christmas. And he's like, and you have to bring some nice clothes. And he's like, what, for church? Like, what? Why? And he goes, Mom is throwing Lauren an engagement party on the 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, God, they're going to be in the same room on purpose for like the first time in 3 years. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Other than church, because apparently neither of them will give up church.
That tracks so fucking hard, though.
Right? Just go to a different church, dude.
They just sit on the opposite sides of that. I almost said stadium. What do you call that?
Yeah, sure.
That Jesus stadium?
Sanctuary?
Yep, that's
Sanctuary. Yeah, there we go.
They sit on either side of that and just glare at each other the entire time. When it specifically is like while the priester?
Yep. While the preacher? While the reverend talks about...
I don't remember which religious leader we need to be concerned about.
So it's priesterend.
Yep.
There we go.
While the priesterend is up front discussing love and forgiveness and...
Yeah. They're just glaring daggers.
Hatefully glaring at each other. Which, ma'am, why are you glaring?
You have no legs to stand on. You can shut the fuck up. You can show a little humility, ma'am.
We don't know until probably like 30% into this book what the issue is, listener. And listener, you're going to wait with us, okay?
You are.
Because we're going to give you the drop when
But I'm just telling you, she has no right to glare at him.
No room to stand on. Like, no
How
ground to
dare
stand
you?
on.
So anyway, she texts him and she's like, hey, my name is Abby and my stepfather lives 15 miles away and my stepmother has like this awesome spread. And it's like not only the regular turkey stuff, but also Chinese dumplings.
Thanksgiving dumplings?
Uh-huh. So good. And then like 3 different kinds of pies. Like it's serious business. And he's like, your dumplings intrigue me. How many sauces are there?
Their text messages were so cute in this book.
Already.
And he's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going with you. And so he agrees, and then we zippy zap, and he's knocking on her door. He's got a little tie on. He's got a button up. He is so dappered up.
Yeah. Oh, also, really quickly, she said that the first time she saw him, he was like really sweet and humble, and he called her by name. And then she says, well, the name on my name tag.
Gail.
And then up until this point, they've been calling her Gail. He's like, don't talk to Gail like that at her work job. It's great.
Yeah. So he knocks, and the door opens. And I immediately lose my train of thought. I'm blinking at a pretty blonde woman with shoulder-length hair. My first reaction is all, hell yes, and thank you, Jesus. Then I realize this is not just any woman. It's the hot waitress from the Biscuit in the Basket. Yeah. The one with the who remembers every order without writing it down, and who always seems to know when we need something more. The one with the kissable ivory neck and gray eyes that always makes me a little stupid. I've never asked her out because it's rude to hit on a girl who's just trying to get through her shift at work.
Weston.
But man, I'd like to. And I'm like, Weston, the irony that you are the one who I would be fine with hitting on me at work kills me.
Oh, you respectful boy.
he goes a little stupid, and he tries to compliment her, and he's like, you look different. Your hair fluffy. It's fluffier. And
is fluffy a good thing? He says out loud.
Fluffy's fine.
Yeah. She is so cool, calm, and collected, and he is the one who's like stuttering. It's adorable.
Well, and then she says, last chance to back out, and he thinks, I wouldn't dream of it. I have to remember how to be Mr. Smooth, though, and flirt properly with Abby. Who knows? After a great meal, we could make this a night to remember. I'm at your service, I say, hoping it sounds a little sexy and not creepy. Let's get our turkey on. Mr. Smooth seems to be on vacation today.
He abandoned me. Earlier, or just now, she was like, oh God, you're wearing a tie. And he immediately like grabs it and he's like, oh, is it too much? I can lose the tie. And then his inner monologue says, hell, I would lose my trousers if she asked me to. Your wish is my command.
Yeah. So she gives him a rundown of who he'll be meeting, like the family. They come up with their backstory. They've been dating for a month, blah, blah, blah. He gets more information about her, right? Because if you've been dating for a month, you're going to know the random little thing, like some random little thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She explains that they're visiting her stepdad, her stepmom, and then the lady's son, who is the worst tool.
God, Price is such a dick.
And then he says, well, where's the rest of your family? And she's like, oh.
Dead?
She's like, I never knew my dad, and my mom died suddenly 3 years ago. And he's like, oh, God, that was a really stupid question. I'm so sorry.
Taking her dog to the vet?
She got in a car accident.
So they both died?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And she was like 18 or 19. It was senior year of high school.
Yeah.
Dying. So.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm sorry I brought the mood down. Should we turn on some music? Should we do a song? Like, tell me your favorite stuff.
Well, he's like, I always sing loudly before tests when I'm stressed. And she's like, is today stressful? This was your idea. And he's like, no, but you look ready to barf. So let's sing it out. And then they sing it out to the Avett Brothers.
She says that her favorite song at the moment is Ain't No Man by the Avett Brothers. And so they turn it on and they sing loudly and badly as she's driving.
And then they get to the house and she's nervous again. And he's like, once more for luck. And they do. And she's like, are we really doing this? They're just sitting in the driveway. And he's like, we really are. And then they do. And she's giggling because she can look at him this time. And she's like, I am giggling just like those girls who perch on his knee. Because listener, Weston Griggs is A+ player as far as school knows, which is accurate. He is a player.
He is. He's sworn off love.
But he's upfront about it.
Yeah.
And she's like, I get it now. Giggling makes more sense when Weston Griggs is smiling at you.
Oh my God. Yeah, because she was like, they giggle. And like, that's one of the reasons I have no chance.
Yeah.
But now she's giggling. So they go inside and Lila, the stepmom, is like, oh, and this must be your new man. I've heard so much about you. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, really? Tell me. What did she say? And Lila's just like, come on in. Because she wasn't listening when Abby told her about him, you know? And then as they're inside,
there's no way she told him about him at all, hardly. Except she did. Because, no, but that's what I'm saying is like, she couldn't have told him a whole lot, but boy, she did. Because she knows a lot about Weston Griggs.
Abby's like, I cannot let Lila say anything out loud because I will seem like a stalker. And like, I'm not technically, you know? So anyway, they're standing there and she's like, oh shit, I left the wine I brought out in the car. And he's like, oh, I can step out and go get it for you right now. Or I have an idea and you can think about it. And she's like, what? And he like leans all the way up into her ear. He's like, or we can leave it chilling out in the car and then you and I can drink it later together.
Wink, ka-wink, ka-wink.
And then he's like, oh, hello, sir. How are you, sir?
And obviously she's immediately like, well, he was just whispering in my ear to make it seem like we're actually in a relationship to my stepfather as he walked up. And I'm like, he could have whispered anything.
Anything.
He could have leaned into your ear and been like, I have a calculus test next week.
Yeah, watermelon cantaloupe is what he could have said. And nobody would have known any different. Truly.
Honestly, accurate, because I would have had a much bigger reaction to that would have been way more realistic.
Yeah, and so meanwhile, in his head, he's like, oh my fucking God. Like, where is Mr. Smooth? I'm such a dummy around her. I can't believe I propositioned her basically in front of her dad.
Yeah. And then we meet her step-brother Price, and immediately, which obviously Sarina Bowen meant to do this, but like, he's clearly more interested in her than he should be.
For sure. Yeah. So they end up sitting down for the meal, and that is when this like 20-something sloucher comes shuffling in, and he's like, who are you? And they introduce him. And then they're like, okay, who are you? And he's finally like, I'm Price. I live here. And that ends up being the step-brother who's the worst. So she's sitting in between Price and Weston. Ha!
Okay.
Whoo! Got there.
Couldn't wait.
Yeah, she's sitting in between Price and Weston. And then the dad's like, should we do an obligatory grace really quick? And they're like, yeah, sure. And then as this is happening, he like bows his head respectfully, but then he feels some violence under the table on the other side of her. And it seems like a cat has come to bite her ankles or something. And so he's like, what the fuck is going on there? And she lets go of Price's hand as soon as she can, but she's still holding his. And so he keeps on like giving her different like sort of friendly squeezes. Earlier in the car, he gave her shoulder a friendly squeeze. And now he gives her hand a friendly squeeze because it's just like solidarity over here.
And boy, he's had his arm around her shoulder now at this point. He's like, man, she feels so good.
Too good.
I'm such a slut for a fake dating where...
That feels so good.
Oh, and it feels so good.
And what a surprise.
You nitwit.
What's happening?
You fucking nitwit. By the way.
Yeah.
Lila makes a homemade pumpkin chai pie.
I'm doing that this year.
Tell me. I want to hear everything. I will not make it myself. We talked about this last year. You were going to show me. We were going to video chat, actually.
Maybe we can just video chat this year.
I want that. And that sounds better than just what I usually do, which is a store-bought pumpkin pie that I don't heat up at all, and I just go out with a spoon, you know?
Aren't you supposed to eat pumpkin pie cold? Or room temperature?
Are you?
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, cool.
I always do.
Great. I've been doing it right my whole life then.
Yeah, I eat apple pie hot if I can, and then pumpkin pie cold.
Oh, all right. Well,
Delish.
regardless, honestly.
The kids have requested all mini pies, though, this year. Like pie muffins.
Oh my God, that's adorable.
So I'm going to do that this year.
But also that's way too much crust to pie filling ratio for me.
No, you got to make it real thin.
Oh, I know. We've also had this conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every holiday, listener, I feel like Mel and I with our Swiss cheese brains are just going to end up having the same conversations over and over.
No, that's not true. Keep tuning in.
Keep tuning in. Well, we're going to add to it like the Podiversary episode, because now next year we'll talk about mini pies and eggs.
No, but, oh God!
And who knows what we'll talk? Who knows what we'll add to it the year after? You know?
Do we have to have a culinary section?
So he ends up chatting with her stepdad Dalton for a little while, and when he goes to find her because it's time to leave, he overhears Price saying some like disgusting shit to her while he has her trapped in the pantry. And Weston rolls up in there like a big bad badass, and he grabs him by the shirt and yoinks him out.
Throws him up against the refrigerator, and he's got his fist cocked.
And Price is like, it was just a friendly chat. And Weston's like, no more friendly chats. You don't look at her. You don't talk to her, or I will punch you so hard that you'll be coughing up your teeth for days. Even if I break my goddamn hand, it'll be worth it.
Oh.
Lova, don't hurt my woman.
Don't touch her. Well, and she has gone through some of her mom's cooking books. That's why she was in the kitchen by herself.
Yeah.
So as a result, she got like a handwritten recipe that was just stuck in one of the cookbooks. And it's for the birthday cake that her mom made for her every year, we find out later.
Sounded delicious. It's just a regular vanilla cake with a pecan praline icing. And
yeah. Sounds great.
Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Shopify is there to help you grow. Shopify helps you sell everywhere, from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms, and sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. What I love about Shopify is how no matter how big you want to grow, Shopify gives you everything you need to take control and take your business to the next level. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, we believe the best holiday fun happens out there, on the driveway with a new basketball hoop, out back around the fire pit, or up in the deer stand. No matter your fun, we've got it. The right stuff at the right price. Academy, have fun out there.
A hilarious new stand-up special from comedy legend Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, is coming to Hulu November 22nd. This Thanksgiving, see Jim in a whole new light, as he gives you the inside scoop on everything from parenting teenagers to weight loss and gaslighting family members. For everyone in need of a happy hour, the new hilarious stand-up special, Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, is now streaming on Hulu.
Need turkey tips? Our Butterball Turkey Talk line is open. We'll help with what's on the table so you can focus on those around it. Call 1-800-BUTTERBALL or text 844-877-3456. Butterball. Today, we turkey.
So they get in the car. He asks to drive because she's like a little in shock. And he feels bad. He feels like he failed her. He's like, if I had known that was why you needed a date today, I would not have let you out of my sight.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I don't want to say anything because it's embarrassing. And she's like, I just need one more semester and then I'm graduated and I can take all of my mom's stuff before it gets thrown out.
Yeah.
And move on and I never have to step foot in that house again. And he says, what are you doing for Christmas though? And I was like Grinch smile where I was like,
uh-huh.
Yeah, let's keep this going.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'll just come up with something. And I was like, she's going home with him for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
She's going home with him for Christmas.
Well, and just to sort of clear up the relationship with her stepdad, he's a good dude. But he just isn't a kid person, really. You know, he loves these women who end up having children, but he's not a kid person. So she says,
takes care of them. Like,
yes.
Yeah,
but it's never been like, it's never been a huggy relationship. It's never been like, you know, really warm. It's a safe relationship, but it's not warm.
To be fair, she was 12 when her mom and Dalton met. And if she's only 21, like, that's really not that long. And almost half of that, your mom's been dead.
Well, okay. So I think the only reason I make that distinction is because my stepdad moved in when I was 13. And like, I've barely been home since I was 18. Like, I'll go home every once in a while. But like, my stepdad and I were incredibly close and like, you know, huggy and We would like do chores together. We had like special stuff we did together. I would counsel him about his relationship with my mom. It's fine. You know, shit like that. So like
a parentified child.
I just step into the role, really, you know?
Yeah, it comes so naturally.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I make the distinction because my stepdad is a kid person. You know, and like that's sort of the difference to me is like this dude is a good dude. He just like doesn't know how to be like the warm guy for kids. Yeah. And so since she has been to college, she says that she's gotten a lot of scholarships. And then Dalton has paid for like the rest of the tuition and then books and stuff like that. And he said, like, the only reason I don't really want to pay for an apartment for you is because we live so close, you can just have your old room. And that's the reason she works at this Buffalo Wild Wings facsimile is like she cannot live in that house because of price. And so she doesn't want to create a rift between Lila and her stepdad. And so she just like works there so that she can afford her apartment and like go to school. So it's not like, I mean, I thought it was a little bit unfair when she was like, and then I'll never have to go into that house again. Because that's not really the relationship she has with Dalton ultimately, but it's not a safe space right now.
It also didn't even feel like her house when her mom was alive. Like it's always been Dalton's house.
They moved into Dalton's house.
Yeah.
Is what, because he was much more successful than her mom.
Mm-hmm. And so she tells him, she's like, you put the fear of God into Price. That was your best bit of acting. And he's like, I wasn't
Because it
acting.
was not acting.
So it's the next morning, and she realizes she never gave him the $25 for yesterday. And so she texts him, and she's
like, I am so sorry. And he's like, oh, I wasn't going to actually accept it. It's just like, it's a fee on there to keep the nutters away. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, at least let me treat you to your next platter of wings.
So she does. And then she proceeds to avoid him very studiously for weeks.
Weeks and weeks.
And all of a sudden, she's wrapping silverware, and he plops down in front of her, and he's like, hey, Abby. And she's like, hey, Weston, how you been?
How you been?
And he's like, well, down in the dumps, if you want to know the truth. I got dumped by my fake girlfriend. He grins.
And she's like, what? You can't really get dumped by a fake girlfriend.
That's kind of the point. And he's like, don't I know it? But you are avoiding me.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I actually was hoping that you might be able to help me out in a mutually beneficial arrangement that gets you out of town for Christmas.
Yeah. And then she's like, this is the first time I have seen Weston even remotely uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Like, he doesn't seem like he's okay in his skin right now. And that's really weird. So like, she's extra interested in why he wants to do this. And he's like, I've got some family drama. And if I bring somebody home, my dad will be on his best behavior because, you know, stranger, a guest in the house. And she's like, okay. And then she says like, fuck, I don't know how to ask this without seeming totally egotistical, but like, this isn't just a ploy so that you don't have to worry about me being alone at Christmas, right? And he's like, no, I can assure you I am a man in desperate need of a fake date at Christmas. And this is the only time that there is a problem with the consistency in this book. And I have to know if I'm wrong about this. Because he says, like, can I drive there since I know where we're going? And she's like, yeah, but can you drive a stick? And then he says, your speedometer doesn't work. But he's already driven her car.
So I clocked that. Because Sarina Bowen fixes the manual thing. Because I was like, didn't he drive her car? And then, like, literally, when he gets behind the wheel, he thinks to himself, in fact, I drove this car once before, but Abby was so rattled she doesn't remember. I could see him not noticing the speedometer. Because I clocked that immediately. I was like, what? He definitely
what are you talking about?
But she was so in shock that he
was really preoccupied with you know,
her, and they were driving in a small Vermont town. So like I could see how you wouldn't clock the speedometer thing. And then he realizes they have very different definitions of what a perfectly good car means, and I'm on Weston's side.
I'm on her side.
Her car, he notes that it feels sluggish. The speedometer doesn't work, and neither does her gas gauge. And they're about to be driving for within town driving. Oh yeah, that's a perfectly good car. Driving across the state for several hours, no, I'm absolutely not. I would have been like, I wish I'd rented a car.
This sounded like every single car we had when I grew up. Like, yeah, I told you I had to hold the flashlight out the window when my dad and I were driving back to the hospital when my brother was being born, because we only had one headlight. So I held the flashlight on the other side. That was my childhood.
Wait, why?
Stop it. So
no, I'm legitimately asking. I would have never bothered with the flashlight. I would have just had one headlight.
I don't know. My dad asked me to.
I guess you're less likely to get pulled over, and people are weird because one headlight, they think it's a motorcycle. So I have noticed that, but like...
Or maybe we didn't have any headlights and I'm remembering it wrong, but I feel like that's like too far. I don't think even my parents would drive with no headlights.
You know?
But there's also like big deer population. So one headlight is really tough.
Oh, okay.
Because it was also
living in
outside.
Arkansas. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
It was the outside headlight where the deer would be coming from. So yeah,
no,
that was the other reason.
I don't even need a passenger to have a headlight or a flashlight poking out that side of the car. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'll make that work on my own.
Okay, but speaking of their banter really quickly, when she says, "Can you drive a manual?" he says, "Are you kidding? That's like asking a guy if his dick works." And she goes, "Well, does it?"
And then he grabs those keys and he's like, "Oh, I'll show you."
Her.
He growls. So this is when we find out that the reason his parents are divorced is because Weston's mom...
Wait. He says, "My mom left my dad," and then he pauses and she goes, "For a woman." And he goes, "Actually, that would have been better because my dad doesn't have a sister."
Yeah.
And then there's like a beat.
So turns out Weston's mom left his father for his younger brother.
Oh my God.
Who was, quote, more fun and life-affirming. And she fell in love with him while giving him free pro bono physical therapy because he broke a bunch of bones doing something stupid.
Yeah, in an accident that was his fault because he is notoriously the family fuck-up.
Yep.
And, oh God, and he's like a hobbyist mixologist.
Oh my God, that's my least favorite people.
I cannot. This guy
so,
sounded so douchey.
Oh my God, he really did. Like, I was like...
He would be tipping his fedora in 2010. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you would talk about incel energy.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, when I found out, and the way that Sarina Bowen... Because I had the same ... What? No.
She left him for his brother?
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, I can see both sides, right? Because at this point, it's been 3 years, but also it's like a travesty on so many levels because his dad moved out of the childhood home and now lives in like a lake house that has been in his family for generations. But then his brother just moved into his bedroom. Have the decency to move, y'all.
So I think the thing that is most bonkers to me is I've literally had this conversation with my friends before. I own my house, right? It's a mortgage, but like I bought my own house for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And when I move back, I'm in the process of buying another house, right? Like I'm selling this one, getting myself another house. And maybe this is my financial trauma from past relationships. But and also the fact that I am deeply territorial. Once I have decided like this is my space, you're not coming into my space.
You're not encroaching on it.
You can visit, but like I know myself well enough to know if I ever decide to get a roommate or like move a partner in or like
go
whatever.
To a neutral area.
We're going to a new fucking house because I know myself and I will be a monster. I am too
That's not how we do things here in this house.
Like, and I was talking to my friend about it and I was reading this book and I was like, you, what? There's
into your brother's bed.
There is no way that you have not been to that house as an uncle a million times, bro. But then she says to him, finds out, she says, wow, Weston, you're very special. I've never met somebody who's his own cousin before.
Mm-hmm. And
I'd like to tell you, Melody, I have. I've met several.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, Arkansas. But he says, I'm sure they were in California. I'm sure. It was just an Arkansas joke. Jesus.
You're not wrong.
But then she only refers to this dude as his stepfunkle because it's his stepfather/uncle. And I can't. But here's the thing. It has been 3 years. And the dad is like still just as bitter, if not more bitter than day one when he found out. And so at this point, he's just punishing his children with the way that he's handling the whole situation.
You're right.
The mom should not get a free pass. And I don't think she does. But, he truly needs to be a grown-up.
Yeah, I agree. Also,
I loved the way she talked about this later. We'll get to it.
Well, as somebody who, I'm not going to lie, somebody who one of their toxic traits is, boy, if I can remember why I'm mad at you, that's a grudge.
Yeah.
And if I can remember it, I'm going to hold on to that. The best is having a friend who, semi-regularly reminds me why I don't like a person.
Yeah.
I love a friend with receipts who, holds on to that like a little steel trap. And I'm like, I'll just start talking about someone and they're like, oh, you don't like those people.
Please recall.
Remember that time in 2019 when blah, blah, blah happened? And I'm like,
that's right.
Yes. It comes right back. And I'm like, yeah, I hate them. You're right.
I do need somebody to remind me, though, because I often forget.
We find out how the Griggs grandfather deals with the family awkwardness.
Oh my God.
And it had me cackling because it's not that he turns it off. He just doesn't wear his hearing aids.
He's just decided to be deaf.
Yep. He's like,
at family gatherings.
I won't,
not even frankly.
I'm not even going to be able to, you can come up to me and be like, hey, turn your hearing aids on so you can hear me. And he's like, they're at home.
I forgot them. I fed them to the fishes.
I forgot them and I forget them conveniently.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Shopify is there to help you grow. Shopify helps you sell everywhere, from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms, and sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. What I love about Shopify is how no matter how big you want to grow, Shopify gives you everything you need to take control and take your business to the next level. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. It's a season of wonder all the way at Nordstrom. You'll find the best gifts for everyone you love, including tons of ideas under $100, and gift experts to help. Wondering what to wear? They have everything from cozy styles to party perfect looks, along with free style help from their stylist. Plus, they'll help make your shopping easy with services like in-store order pickup, gift wrap options, free shipping and returns, and more. Discover the wonder of the holidays today in stores and at Nordstrom.com.
A hilarious new stand-up special from comedy legend Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, is coming to Hulu November 22nd. This Thanksgiving, see Jim in a whole new light as he gives you the inside scoop on everything from parenting teenagers to weight loss and gaslighting family members. For everyone in need of a happy hour, the new hilarious stand-up special Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, is now streaming on Hulu.
So they get to the house, and it is this beautiful redone cabin because his dad is an architect. homina homina, frankly. And out
why is an architect so sexy?
And he's like a burly one. You know, I was expecting sort of a lanky character, but he's like a burly. He's like a lumberjack architect. And so outside, like you can skate basically like right out their front door on this frozen pond. It's a goddamn winter wonderland, okay? And they get there, they meet the dad, Mickey, they meet his little brother, Steven. And Steven's like, oh, girlfriend, huh? Nice. Okay. Nice joke. There's no fucking way. And they're both like, what? What are you talking about? I mean, it's new, but it's great. And they've made a bet. And he's like, listen, it's going to be not on you at all. Oh, I loved this moment. Because she was like, why don't you have any faith in my girlfriend skills? Like, am I not girlfriend worthy? I wore a dress and tights for you today. And he goes, oh no, you are beautiful and lovely and all of the girlfriend things that I would want. It's just that we've been reeled down on love for the past 3 years.
Which, like, fair.
Yeah.
Also, though, is it wild to you to think that they were dressed up for this party for the entire several-hour drive there?
At 10 a.m.?
And then, like, if you were going straight to the party, okay.
Sure.
You're going by the house.
They eat lunch, they watch a fucking movie, and she's been wearing her party dress all day. What are you doing, ma'am?
Anybody that I'm traveling with, I need you to know that unless you specifically tell me I need to be dressed up because we are arriving there, even then, I'm changing in the car.
I'm going to look like a scrub until I don't have to anymore.
There. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm going to be, for a 3-hour drive, I'm probably going to be in comfy pants. Not probably. I'm in comfy pants and probably my Jacob Black sweater.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, this was nutty to me.
Yeah.
But it's also like a velvet or like a velour, fabric. So it doesn't, it is something you can sort of snuggle up in without making it crease or whatever, but still, it was bananas to me. Yeah. So they go to this party. The Steven has vacated the one room that has a double bed. And
when Weston was like, we're going to be in the bunkhouse because Steven will almost certainly take that double bed room. I was like, there's no fucking way,
no,
Weston.
He won't. What are you talking about?
Even if he tried, there's no way that your father, host extraordinaire, apparently, is going to let that happen. Like, no. So they end up with only one bed, everybody. And she's like, no, I'm excited. I'm going to win this bet. Like, we're definitely staying in this room. Because he's like, I'll get Steven to trade us again. She's like, no. Also, there's no not weird way to be like, actually.
Yeah. Me and my girlfriend.
Let us stay in the bunkhouse.
So they end up getting to this party, and they have decided that Weston is going to be the designated driver that night. And she offers, which I would have too, but he's like, no, you spend too much time watching other people have fun.
Serving other people drinks.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
You acts of service, King.
Yikes. So it is the Cold War in this Christmas engagement party.
Ooh, Cold War plus Kentucky bourbon, even though all bourbon comes from Kentucky.
This guy is the worst. This guy is the worst. And also, like, that is not your signature technique, sir. Pouring liquor over a spoon to make a float was not invented by you, sir. The fuck?
Frankly, it doesn't even sound like he's that good at it.
No.
So, his dad, the actual dad, not stepfather Funkle Man, does steal a bottle of Kentucky bourbon from behind the bar and is just holding it, stated, like the Lady Liberty holds her torch.
He's trying to get under this mixologist's skin, and like he's doing a great job.
And then
like kind of justice for this dad ?
Yeah.
Until he takes it too far.
He could have handled a lot of things better, but like I was on his side until he ended up too drunk, slammed the bottle accidentally against the fireplace, and then stormed out.
shattered the whole thing, and then storms out.
She goes out there because they're
No, she's already out there. He comes out and sees her, notably.
Oh.
It would be different if she chased him, but she did not. He entered her territory.
You're right. She was already waiting outside.
Yeah, and so they look at each other, and she says, "How could you?" And then she's like, "Keep your opinions to yourself." And he's like, "Oh, honey, you let me know in 30 years.
He says, "You probably know all about heartbreak and disappointment at the tender age of 20. Hey, now my anger is driving this bus. I only look young. 3 years ago, my only parent was driving my dog to the vet when they both died in a car crash." Mr. Griggs jerks back like he's been slept. Jesus Christ, that's terrible. Yeah, I know, but don't feel sorry for me. I don't need your pity, but for the love of God, stop giving your kids so much drama. You're not dead. I grab the cigarette out of his hand and throw it into the snow. Not yet, anyway, so stop throwing yourself a damn funeral. He drops his head. Shit. Just stop, I repeat, because I'm on a roll and some people can't take a clue until you shove it in their faces. Get a goddamn hobby, get a dog, join Tinder and find some action. But stop wallowing in self-pity. It's not a good look on you.
Hot. And then she gets a slow clap from the sidelines because both Briggs boys have overheard all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. It's none of my business." And they're both like, "No, that was incredible." And they end up like giggling and the dad is totally chagrined.
Mm-hmm.
And like this made me so happy. I don't think I would ever have the guts to actually say something like that, you know, to an authority figure or like, you know, to a loved one's parent. I don't know. I don't think I'd be able to.
It would depend. I have a couple of buttons.
Oh, yeah.
If they got pushed, I would have said a lot worse.
Oh my God. One of my favorite moments with this is like, she says something to the effect of, he went through something horrific, and I understand that. But like, he's not the only one, and I learned how to suffer in silence like a damned grown-up. And that's it. That is it. I was on your side until you were a douche.
So then, listener, we zippy zap, and they have fake sex in their bed.
Oh my God.
And it's hot.
No.
You don't.
Their first night, it's just normal stuff. They sleep for 12 hours. Then the next day, they have a whole Christmas day where the dad makes the buffet he used to make until, you know, he was heartbroken. He feels so bad.
He specifically wakes up the next morning and thinks, "I can't believe I slept a whole night in this bed with hot Abby. I'm lucky my subconscious didn't give me some kind of freaky sex dream where I'd wake up humping her leg like a Randy golden retriever." For that, I think I deserve some coffee. And I was like, Weston,
you're adorable.
I love you.
Yeah. The dad asked the daughter, he was like, "This is the time to ask for a wedding present." Mm-hmm. And she asked him to go to counseling. Yeah.
Savage, and I love her. That was
love
necessary.
It. And he agreed.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that all happens. And then he thinks to himself, like, "Oh my God, putting my arm around her feels too good. I have got to come up with some activities that don't involve us snuggling on the couch watching movies because I'll have to iron my dick down by the end of the day."
Melanie,
if that's it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you understand how cross-country skiing works?
Yes, I love cross-country skiing.
I don't.
I love it.
Is it flat?
I prefer it to downhill skiing. Yep. It's not necessarily flat. It's like you do the undulation, you follow the curve of the earth. But yeah.
Go up.
You end up sort of doing a backwards pizza. A lot of times you can just get enough momentum, especially if there's a track. You can get enough momentum to, like, you know, just use that to go over. But if it's especially steep, you just angle your skis back and then you do like an awkward waddle up the hill. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. You can just take them off and truck your skis up, you know.
Every book I've ever read where cross-country skiing has come up, I've just read it alone.
I fucking love cross-country skiing.
And I was like, you know what? I'm not Googling it. I'm just going to accept that I don't understand.
It's so good. It's so fun. It's so peaceful. It's just like a good fucking day outdoors. It's so good.
All right.
Anyway, so they go cross-country skiing. He acts like a gorilla in front of strangers to show her the correct stance to like get going. Mm-hmm. It's so cute. They end up...
I'm going to tell you, Mel, that just confused me more, but that's okay. Don't explain it.
Yeah, and I'm not.
So, and she thinks to herself, yep, I'm a little more in love with him than I was already. Any hot guy who will voluntarily humiliate himself to teach you to ski has got to be a keeper.
I mean,
yeah.
And then they end up like having hot cocoa and ice skating. Mm-hmm. And then the dad asks that evening if they can do presents on Christmas Eve instead of Christmas Day. And this is where I died.
So everyone exchanges presents except for Dalton, the father, and Abby, right? And like they're cute and sweet and like good things. And then they do exchange presents because she got him slippers from the flannel company that she works at. And he gave her this beautiful leather satchel that he got his daughter, Lauren, when she graduated college. And he tells her, I gave one of these to my daughter the year she graduated from college. She needed an upgrade from her book bag to look more professional, and I thought you could use one too. Especially, he clears his throat, if you don't have a parent handy to give you one. Oh, I say, looking up suddenly, and he's watching me with a father's compassion in his eyes.
And she has the reaction that any newly orphaned person or any mere mortal, frankly, would have in this situation. Uh-huh. And she wells up and she's like so embarrassed and she's just like, thank you. And she just starts crying because it's the sweetest, most beautiful, like, I mean, and it's something that she couldn't expect, you know? Like later on in the next chapter, he says something to the effect of, I knew she was alone in the world, but I didn't understand how that felt until she lost it getting a present from my dad. Because that's just not a possibility in her life anymore. Yeah,
like she can't, it's one of those things where like, it's never been a possibility and it's not even something that she can get at, that she is past the point. Like she's not gonna have that relationship with her stepfather. She's never known her father. And so like this stand-in dad is...
Well, and I think like from the perspective of someone who has lost a parent, I think some of the things that hit me the hardest are stuff I didn't even think to expect, you know? Like I don't even think she thought of that as a rite of passage anybody has access to, right? Yeah, that she would have missed. And so having it come out of nowhere and be this surprise is just so beautiful. And then they end up watching like a funny movie and snuggling on the couch. And she says, I managed to end the evening smiling. And it's the best.
And now we have only one bed and fake sex.
Yeah, we do.
They decide to put on a show. She decides to put on a show for
because
Stevie.
The brother doesn't believe her still.
Mm-hmm. And she's determined to get a meal and a drink.
Right.
She doesn't have to make or serve herself.
That's right. She says, you ever seen the movie When Harry Met Sally? The diner scene? And he's like, And she's like, oh, Weston. And he's like, oh my, the chapter is called, Did She Just Moan My Name?
Yeah.
It's the best.
No, I whimsied that. I have no idea what the diner scene is.
It's when she tells him that women fake orgasms and he doesn't believe her. And so she fakes a very dramatic orgasm at the table to the point where she's like slamming her hands on the table, being like, in a New York diner. Everybody's around. It's an iconic scene. You can YouTube it.
I would rather die than be in this situation.
Well. Anyway, so she does that, and he's like, holy fuck balls. As soon as he heard her, like, breathy moan of his name, he gets rock hard. He can't handle it. And he's like, you better keep this up for hours. Otherwise, it's not believable. And she's like, you're capable of a Christmas quickie, aren't you? Like, help me out.
And then he's thinking to himself, she's amused. She finds this whole thing funny. I'm just turned on. This is torture. And then... if I move any more, I'm going to blow just from listening to Abby fake it. I force air into my lungs as the room goes still. There's no more sound from the other side of the bed either. I'm expecting a joke or maybe a compliment on my expert acting skills, but all I can hear is Abby's rapid breathing. And then I push my face into the pillow and smile because I think Abby got a little more than she bargained for, too. I hope it keeps her awake. It's only fair. Happy Christmas indeed.
And just to give you a little preview of what he's going to be like in bed later, his acting skills is him going like, "Oh, you want more? I've got more for you, baby." And like
slamming the headboard against the wall with his foot. Like,
it's great. This is where we're going to stop for today. But we will see you tomorrow for part 2. Heaving Bosoms is produced by us, Melody Carlisle and Sabrina Bradley. Editing is done by me, Melody Carlisle. Our theme music is by the incredible singer-songwriter Brittany Fonts, and our art is by the ultra-talented author Kate Pryor. If you like our show, remember to follow us on your favorite podcast app, rate us 5 stars, and leave a review. That one small action is a huge way to help the show. If you want to get in touch with us for advertising inquiries or anything else, you can email us at heavingbosomspodcast@gmail.com. If you want more of us, visit patreon.com/heavingbosomspodcast. You can also find us on Instagram at Heaving Bosoms, on TikTok at Heaving_Bosoms, and in our Facebook group, the Heaving Bosoms Geriatric Friendship Cult. See you tomorrow.
Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Shopify is there to help you grow. Shopify helps you sell everywhere, from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms, and sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. What I love about Shopify is how no matter how big you want to grow, Shopify gives you everything you need to take control and take your business to the next level. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. It's a season of wonder all the way at Nordstrom. You'll find the best gifts for everyone you love, plus party-ready looks for every occasion. It's easy with free shipping and returns, in-store order pickup, and more. Shop today in stores and at Nordstrom.com.
In the California Road Trip Republic, we believe you take adventure for a ride. Whether coastal cruising, mountain motoring, or redwood roaming, discover beauty around every turn. Your road trip can kick off from anywhere.
Starting route.
But it should always start at visitcalifornia.com. Then buckle up, crank those tunes, and discover why California is the ultimate playground.
A hilarious new stand-up special from comedy legend Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, is coming to Hulu November 22nd. This Thanksgiving, see Jim in a whole new light as he gives you the inside scoop on everything from parenting teenagers to weight loss and gaslighting family members. For everyone in need of a happy hour, the new hilarious stand-up special Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, is now streaming on Hulu.
Butterball knows Thanksgiving can bring so much joy, but also so many cooking questions. What size turkey? What's the best way to roast? How do I carve it? Don't panic. Butterball is here to help. Just give us a ring at the Butterball Turkey Talk line. We'll help with what's on the table so you can focus on those around it. Call 1-800-BUTTERBALL or text 844-877-3456 to reach our turkey experts. Butterball. Today, we turkey.